future of the Bluegrass Army Depot is under consideration right now after a recent feasibility study was conducted by the U.S. Army.
That study determined multiple ways the facility could be used in the future. WKYT's Jessica Umbro was in Richmond today with a look at where things stand.
Back in July, the last chemical weapons at the Bluegrass Army Depot here in Richmond were demilitarized. Now the Army is looking into options on how to reuse the space in the future.
A feasibility study released to the public today listed out 5 potential ways the Bluegrass Army Depot will be utilized, including producing metal containers to decrease foreign supply dependency, establishing production capability for chemicals critical to the defense industry, producing metal components for 155mm artillery to increase supply, expanding the depot's current security guard training program, and collaborating with National Guard on a centralized Army Regional Security Center. The study included interviews with stakeholders from the Department of Defense, Department of the Army, and the Bluegrass community members. In a statement, Senator Mitch McConnell said, quote, "We must explore the depot's promising future and the expansion of its world-class facilities. The Army's feasibility study takes us closer to shaping that future mission and unlocking new economic opportunities for Central Kentucky." Madison County Judge Executive Reagan Taylor expressed a similar sentiment, stating, quote, "The Bluegrass Army Depot continues to be a pillar of our local economy and our community, and I'm pleased to see the Army take strides to preserve their investment in this region."
In a press release, the Bluegrass Army Depot said depot leadership will continue to look into how to implement these options in the future. In Richmond, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
And the Bluegrass Army Depot wants to be clear that they are not closing, stating, quote, "Most work completed on the depot involves conventional munitions and is not affected by the end of the chemical demilitarization mission."